can't help but these, cause they know they can never touch these. So baby, let me talk my shit, or I might just throw another fit. You know I can't help but these, cause they know they can never touch these. So baby, let me talk my shit, or I might just throw another fit.
I see you in 3D. The dawn is bright for me. No more dark for me. I know you're watching me.
Ooh, what's up, YouTube? This your guy Hector, aka host of the Morning Brew, and I'm chilling with my man, the boss himself, Mr. Pete Seminetti.
Oh man, we need that little right there. What's good, fam?
Chilling, bro. Yeah. I tried to hit it with the
I feel you did it. You did a good job of it, though. I'll be honest, because I thought it, and you did a good job of it. I like it. I'm all for it, man.
But we are here. It's Friday. You know what it is. It's Get Yanked. My man's Pete filling in for Jigga Man right now. Jigga Man just had to take some personal issues. Had to handle something personal. So shout out to my man Jigga Man. All is well. I'm just messing up right here. I'm just nervous this Friday being on with the boss. But Pete, how you doing, brother?
Fam, you know I'm doing good, man. I don't know what else to say. Like, look, the Yankees could make my life a whole lot better, but right now they just, they leaving us out like lonely and sad. I woke up this morning, I had a little tear coming out my eyes. I said, oh shit, I know what's going on here. I said the Yankees haven't filled my love right now. Right now it's the fiance and the kids doing it. They're filling my love up, but there's a big part of the Yankees in there in my heart. I got a hole in my heart. I got a heart murmur. There's a little hole in there, a little blood seeping out every now and then. The Yankee blood is losing out. It got to be pumped back in there. And Brian
You ain't
Cashman isn't
the
helping
only
me.
one. You ain't the only one, P. I got a little heart murmur myself, little irregular heart rhythm. So it's not good for us this time of the
I
season,
think the
right?
Yankees should be doing something for our health.
They definitely do. They need to start a fund or something like that to build this up.
Tell you
Because you
what.
know, when they're doing who is the best HQ Yankee or who is the best GQ Yankee, you know, Yes Network don't got nothing to talk about if that's their top 10 that
I
they're
couldn't
worrying
believe
about
that.
right now, bro.
And they got Buck Showalter on that shit. Buck Showalter's old ass.
Oh,
Number
man.
one. I thought Spanky was gonna be on. I was like, "Where's Spank?"
it was a lineup of geriatrics, bro, on screen. I was like, "What's going on, my
What the
man?
hell are we doing over here?"
But-
God,
but-
they
but-
really got nothing to talk about, do they?
No, absolutely not. But we here though. It's Friday. Let's do a roll call real quick.
Oh,
My
no.
man Rod Thompson is in the building. Rod Thompson. Salute, 3 capital S's. Tyler Tabbitt is in the building. My guy Hershey, what it do, baby? Don is in the building. I just see a bunch of familiar faces. The NYY News TV family is in full effect. G-Man for life. What it do, brother?
Yeah.
Salute. Yeah, but we here. Hit those likes that you guys come in. If you aren't subscribed, what are you doing with your life, right? Please go and subscribe. And if you guys missed out yesterday, this past Thursday, over on the Yankees Morning Brew, we had the open panel, and Pete Seminetti, he showed up to the open panel. It was an awesome open panel. Go ahead,
Bro,
Pete,
even better though, I was on it with Kaput, and I gotta say something. Kaput might be making his return.
Don't be mad at us, bro.
Don't be mad if
chat.
Kaput was in timeout, but he won me over a little bit. He was a little mature on that side over there.
Yeah,
he was mature over there.
He was a bit, he was a big riled in. He was reeled back. He didn't have all that energy. His room was cleaned up as well. If you notice, he didn't have no socks on the floor. So I was super excited. 2023 is not just a big year for us, but it's a big year for Caputs.
Dirty sock season, baby. What we doing?
Shout out my man Caputo. I love
doing?
that guy. LI Yankee King is in the building.
Hey.
LI, what it do, family?
Yeah.
Mr. Brad Jewis said Pete and Kaput, the bromance. Listen, it was a bromance. All on the open panel, bro.
It's always a bromance, man.
Yeah, it's always a bromance. But at the same time, it was just Yankee fans just having just an average Yankee talk. Ivan Manny was on the panel. He's the GOAT. My man Mikey Maz in the 4 Train Express. It was an awesome conversation, Pete.
And then we had the legend, I ain't gonna, Hector, the host of all hosts, man. You like Bobby the Brain Heaton out there. You like Gorilla Monsoon.
Nah,
you know what I mean?
wish.
Remember Gorilla
I
Monsoon?
wish. Yeah, I was about to say, I
you
wish,
a legend. You a GOAT like Gorilla Monsoon in the sports industry. Because look, I can say, I can say I do the Yankees, do this, do that. My man is like, I'll cover who you need me to cover today. I'll cover a chess match. We're going to do who we covering chess today? Let's go.
I'm known for covering my Parcheesi tournaments, right?
See,
I'm known for covering a few Parcheesi tournaments.
You a beast, fam.
But if anybody's the GOAT, Jira's in the chat. The GOAT, the top moderator of all the moderators is in the building. Jira is in the building. Salute. She graduated from Pull That Shit Up University, right?
Facts. I tell you, man, I get that. My voice changes. It's like a Macho Man Randy Savage when I talk to her. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Cream of the crop, baby.
But Pete, let's start it off nice. Let's start out with the first tweet. And we ain't want to get super into it, because there's been a lot of doom and gloom in the Yankees universe, depending on where you get your information from. So we wanted to switch it up. So Pete, let's switch it up and throw it up there for them.
Yeah, man. You guys know what today's date is. And it's not a good date to play around. It is definitely today, Friday the 13th. And you know our boy, Jason Voorhees, is out and about. And I tell you one thing that people may not know about Jason Voorhees. Hector, he's a big Yankee fan.
Mm-hmm.
You know that? Like, after he chops somebody up, he tunes into the ball game.
Jason, when he was in the city on the second Halloween, the second one that he was in, Friday the 13th, he was in New York City in a pair of Timbs with his Yankee fitted on.
Facts. And that's that picture right there. He got the Timbs underneath. You just can't see it. So what was written there, just to let everybody know, is, hey, Yankees, at Yankees, they were also tagged. So before anybody goes, oh, you should tag them, they were tagged. I think today's a smart day to make a move. Pete knows the guy below, and you kind of already could get the rest of the picture there.
Yeah.
You might want to make a move is all we're gonna say here. That's it.
You don't want to be added to the water of New York City with the bodies underneath, bro.
I wonder. I don't know if I just can't see what kind of bagel would Cashman be turned into.
Man. He would be turned
Probably
into
salty. He seems like a salt bagel.
he's gluten free. He's gluten free. He's a gluten free bagel, 100%. Or maybe a rye wheat.
Right,
maybe.
yes. I can see the rye wheat. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Only on this show do you get this conversation, guys. I tell you.
100%. Jigga Man is in the building, my bro. What it do?
What's going on, fam?
Yes,
I
sir.
needed extra coffee today, by the way. I'm so sloppy. I got coffee dripping down the sides here. I don't even care today.
Not on the white coffee cup. I'm sipping on, us Spanish folks, us Boricuas, we drink that sweet tea and we put it in whatever bottle we can. We can.
Body, damn. We talking about Freddie, Jason Voorhees over. You guys might have our own Jason Voorhees here.
Maybe. But no, the sweet tea is on deck on this Friday night. A nice little sweet tea.
Sunil just said in the comment, Jason from Friday the 13th is half Sicilian.
Definitely is.
His name is Jason Marigote.
Yeah,
he hangs
out on East Tremont. That's exactly what it is.
Every Sunday you catch him strolling Pelham Bay Park. That's all.
Exactly.
He's always chilling.
Man, I was known for those Pelham Bay Park bonfires back in the day.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody who from the Pelham area and the Bronx. But
hell yeah, baby.
It was beautiful. But Pete, let's bring up the next one for the fellas.
This
for the
is a good
chat.
one, man. This is a fun one right here to discuss. Let me get this baby pulled up right here. All right, guys. So the next one we talking about right here. This might be some some competitive back and forths right here. And this is, speaking of Arod, I know he had a rough finish to his Yankees career, but his number 13 should be retired. Heck, what do you think?
When it comes to Arod, it's a love-hate thing when it comes to Alex Rodriguez, bro, because it's when we first got Alex Rodriguez, especially being young in high school, however old you were, Arod was a superstar when we got him, and we thought that he would add on to it. 2009, he was able to make up for every mistake that happened before, for every year, for swiping the ball from Bronson Arroyo's hands, from the mirror right here, kissing himself, from everything that happened, all this roller coaster back page stories. But for me, I know the Yankees organization may feel tight and different when it comes to him because of the lawsuit and everything happened. They made him retire early. But if it's up to me, I will retire A-Rod's number. If it was up to me, put him in Monument Park right in there with the great ones. If you're not going to do it now, wait till he's about 60 years old, where he can't try to go on ESPN every day and try to milk that, so wait till he's a bit older for it. What about you, Pete? What you think?
Yeah, man. Look, we know the turmoils, right? We know the things that happen with A-Rod. We know all that stuff. We know the embarrassing moments and we know the great moments. We know all that stuff, but I do think when you sit back and you say, who are some of the greatest Yankee third basemen of all time? A-Rod's there. I mean, at the end of the day, if you were putting together an all-time Yankees team and he looked at third base, that left side of the infield is probably Derek and Jeet. I mean, to be fair, probably is. Hell, you can make a fight, even though I don't think first baseman will win, but you could almost make a fight that the 2009 Yankees had the greatest infield ever. Yeah, they might have 100%. The greatest infield of all time. So, and especially in that time of those guys' career, they were all really good. So again, I think that's a good way to answer a question, right? If you look at the all-time team, would he be the third baseman? He probably is. You make almost an easy case, almost a layup. It's like a John Stockton layup. It's easy.
Just easy.
It's
look at Pete switching it up to the NBA. Look at that. My man's multi-dimensional.
Facts. There's many things people don't know about Pete, okay? Especially when I turn to the mustache poppy. Then it's very different. But right now,
that's a different level. That's a whole different
Pete.
That's beyond Super Saiyan.
Yeah,
that's just different.
Yeah, 100%. But no, for real. I just think when you look at it that way, you kind of got to say, well, if he was that great to get that, I guess he would be. He should be. He should be out there. And, I know the Yankees might have some embarrassing moments. And did I actually say Derek and Jeet? I meant A-Rod and Jeet. My bad. But
I didn't realize.
Yeah, I think that the chat, James, he said Derek and Jeet, and he had a little dead face there, smooth. Yeah, that'll be a hell of a left side of the infield right there.
That would be.
But Yeah, I think he is. I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's hard to say the pros outweigh the cons because A-Rod did some goofy shit, man. He did some goofy stuff. He really did. So,
No argument there, bro.
I mean, as a ball player, though, how do you not put the dude in the Hall of Fame? One, and the Yankees should retire his number. I mean, he really is. He's one of the greatest hitters of all time. He's one of the greatest baseball minds of all time, too.
Yeah, and to me, A-Rod, it's a tricky conversation because you mentioned every bozo thing that he did, but also A-Rod also as a baseball player, he transcended baseball as a superstar, right?
Facts.
The average normie knew who Alex Rodriguez was, right?
Yeah.
Everybody talks about, when you look at the professional sports, the greatest seasons, and everybody talks about Michael Jordan's rookie season. But if you look at Alex Rodriguez's rookie season, batted over 330, 40, like A-Rod literally had a legendary rookie season. He literally had a Michael Jordan type of rookie season. A-Rod, he was on a trajectory to hit over 700 home runs. He even ended with 696. He could have got it with no hits, but the injuries caught up to him. But A-Rod, to me, he transcended sports as a superstar. And you even see it now, even with all the bozo stuff that he's done. ESPN uses him as a poster boy for everything, right? Apple Sports, everyone just loves Alex Rodriguez now. Shout out to his PR team, him and J-Lo, their PR team, whoever they is, give me their number because me and Pete, we need to, we need to fix some things.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, but you're 100% right. I mean, A-Rod as a baseball mind he is elite. He's elite. So whatever you want to talk about the other stuff, when A-Rod talks, you listen. I mean, I know I do. When A-Rod comes out there and he talks about what the Yankees need to do, he brought it up when the Yankees brought in Sabian and Minaya. He was like, these are really good baseball moves. They need that. He's like, they got to get away from the pure analytic focus and bring in some older guys who've been there, done that, and have that human element back. He talked about that. He talked about Gary Sanchez for a while. When I was bringing it up and people were mad at me about bringing it up, A-Rod was also saying the dude hasn't taken this seriously. He hasn't. It's that simple. He hasn't been real about this. He said the same thing about when Joey Gallo was coming. He's like, it's a bad move. Don't do it because the Yankees need less strikeouts. Don't pile that on. And then Gallo took his number, and I think A-Rod was even more happy.
He was more salty,
He's happy about that at that point, that he struggled so bad. But I do, man. I like to see A-Rod out there, man. Look, one of the coolest things in life, in my opinion, is a little bit of a redemption story, right? Guy comes out there, does a couple of things wrong, struggles, not the way, the persona don't look good no more. But then he bounces back. And look, A-Rod's always going to be a goofy cat. That's who he is. A-Rod's always getting like that new picture he had out there, whatever, with all that white shit on his face. I don't know what he was doing, snorting coke or something. But you got
he was cosplaying Tony Montana. That's what it was.
That's all he was doing. He was having a good time. So I mean, you look at stuff like, all right, I know who this guy's character is. I know who he is, but A-Rod's a legend, man. I hope he bounces back well, and I hope he gets out there.
Yeah, can't say it any better myself. A-Rod deservingly earns it to be in Monument Park. And I guess I understand the ending of the story wasn't beautiful. I understand that, right?
Damn right.
But still, the year before he retired, he still popped 30 home runs at that age. He still popped 30 home runs.
Yeah. Beat up, no hips. No hips.
No cartilage in his hips. And 2009, that infield you bring up, he was still doing it coming off of hip surgery.
Facts.
He ended the season 30 home runs, 100 RBIs. Those last two games and Tampa Bay was legendary. He had about 3 or 4 home runs and drove in 10 runs or something like that.
Remember when he came back in the first pitch he homered in Baltimore? Classic.
Bro.
Legendary stuff, man. A-Rod's just one of those. He really had I think a lot of times we take that stuff for granted, and that's one of the things I bring up. I don't want to go down a whole rabbit hole here, but
of course not.
That's one of the things I bring up a lot when it comes to Yankee prospects. When guys like, oh, Jason Dominguez is the next Mike Trout. I'm like, wait a second, guys. Hold on. These guys are rare. How many of them can you name? We can probably do it right now. A-Rod, Manny Machado, Bryce Harper, Juan Soto, Mike Trout. Not many guys are coming up and popping 20-plus homers at 19 years old. Doesn't happen. Jason Dominguez, who we're comparing to these guys, is in Double-A.
Yep.
So a lot of times when people bring up something like, whoa, pump the brakes, like, you don't find guys like these guys. They don't happen. That's why it's so amazing when you get a chance to actually see them. And you do need to take it. I'm really happy that A-Rod won a World Series with the Yankees, and he was a big part of it. Because, look, the cool thing about Yankee fans is we'll always beat you up when you don't do it in the postseason and we lose. But the minute you do it, we're never going to talk about any other year of the postseason with A-Rod. We're going to say 09.
Yeah.
Because that's when he done it. So, for me, man, the guy's one of the all-time GOATs.
Yeah.
He's one of the GOATs.
Deserves it. And, and then we're going to skip on to the next one. But you bring it up. The players that you named, A-Rod came up, teenager, right? After A-Rod, who was that? Juan Soto.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at it. The next teenager superstar to come up after A-Rod came up as a teenager was Juan Soto.
Yeah.
What's number? And it was a huge gap in between, but you're absolutely right, Pete. But let's throw up the next one. But before we do that, shout out to the chat as well. I saw Anthony Medina jump in the building. Jason Lang. Lang, what it do? And Jason Lung. The Langs and the Lungs are right under each other.
Langs and Lungs. What's going on?
Lungs, bro.
Langs and Lungs. Guys, hit that like button, baby.
Those likes for your boys. But let's throw up the next one, Pete.
Here it is from Papa Cole on Twitter. He says, A-Rod was the better baseball player. Jeter was the better Yankee. I don't like the word of that one too much.
Yeah, I don't like the wording. I don't like the wording. To me,
that's the only, that one has to get yanked because of the wording. But I understand the sentiment and I get where they're going, but I don't like the wording on that one.
I would have said Jeter was a better winner than Alex Rodriguez. Jeter was a better winner. We all understood when it came to shortstops and what they do individually. No one's going to argue and say Jeter was better than Alex Rodriguez from the stats perspective. You're not going to argue that. But as a winner, and you shouldn't, as a winner and as somebody who's impactful for his team to win, Jeter, 100%. Like that, question. That's who it is.
No question. And that's the funny thing, right? It's almost like the guy, like, it's hard to, because Jeter never had the off the field issues. If there was anything about Derek Jeter, it was about what girl was he with, during that time, and was it a basket given to her, whatever the hell all that nonsense was during that time. But Derek, there was never anything bad. There was never, he took steroids this year. When he got this injury, he was taking HGH. There was never none of that with Derek. And Derek just went out there and did his thing. Derek was a lot more, it was like every answer was written by a publicist. You know what I mean? He was just so, his mindset was, all right, if they ask me a question about this, we're going to say, we're going to win tomorrow. We should have won this game. Derek had a very fine line about how he answered everything. A-Rod, of course, was just totally different. But as a pure talent baseball player, it's really not close. And that's not a knock on G. G's one of the greatest hitters of all time. What is he, like number 5 or 6 on the all-time hit list?
Well,
Jeter's a legend.
He's number 1 for shortstops when it comes to hits.
And look, listen to that. Listen to that fact. All-time Major League Baseball. That's insane. It's crazy. It's not many guys that are going to be getting 32, 33, 34, 3,500 hits in Major League Baseball anymore. So Jeter has nothing to put his head down about. He's one of the greatest winners of all time. Now, here's what some people might say. Would you rather have Jeter's career or A-Rod's career?
Oh, I'm definitely taking Jeter's career.
I'm taking Jeets all day.
I'm taking Jeter's career, 100%.
So that answers, that might answer that question right there. I'm taking Jeets all day.
A-Rod may have gotten, when it comes to the money, right, aspects, when it comes to the MVPs, A-Rod has those, right? Multiple gold gloves. A-Rod has that, right? Later on in his career, taking all of the money he has and becoming a real team mogul out there when it comes to real estate. A-Rod has done that. But like you said, when it comes to Derek Jeter, owning part of the Marlins. A-Rod wanted to own the Mets at one point, right? He was trying so hard to make that happen. That ain't happened, right? The World Series and the success at an early stage in his career, A-Rod didn't have that, and Jeter won it. Honestly, if you was to ask A-Rod, get him a little bit too drunk, get him a little bit on some tequilas, he may admit it himself that he would have rather had Jeter career than himself.
I think he would. I mean, I think he would. There's no doubt. Jeter with those championships, many baseball players would sit out there and say, give me Jeet's, give me Jeet's career. I mean, who wouldn't want that?
The flip against Oakland. Like when you play highlights, of legendary MLB moments, Willie Mays' behind, catch is right there. And Jeter's flip in the postseason is right there.
No
Mr.
question.
November.
The dive into the stands. I mean, coming out bloodied when you're facing your rival. You're right. The homer in 01 in the World Series right on November. I mean, Jeet's done it all. And that's the cool thing about Jeter and why there should never be an argument about Derek Jeter being overrated. I can't stand that argument. It has nothing to do with me being a fan of Jeter. It doesn't. It's just common sense now. To me, that's just you being a hater at that point.
Yeah.
Because how can you sit there and be like, hey, look, Tom Brady's overrated. How Michael Jordan's over? How? They're winners. They won. They went out there and did it. How is that overrated? It's not. It can't be. So, when you want to sit there and compare and say, well, was this guy better than you? Okay, have fun at it. Have your comparisons. We'll sit there and admit the truth too. But to sit there and be like, he's overrated or he's not one of the greatest of all time. Look, wins count for being one of the greatest of all time. And Jeet was a main part of that team. Can you make an argument and go, maybe Bernie was a little more important. Maybe this guy was fine. Make your arguments all day. But Derek was a part of that team and a major factor in all those wins. And huge moments, like you said. Can't take it away from him.
You can't. And like you said, huge moments aside and everything like that, look at the stats. When it comes to the postseason stats, Bernie Williams is second in home runs, but Jeter is first in hits.
Correct.
Right? Jeter is literally up there. He's in the top 5 when it comes to home runs in the postseason also. But Jeter's number 1 when it comes to hits, right? And I get it. He's been in the postseason a lot. But even if you're there a lot, you still have to produce. You still got to be able to go out there and put a couple of hits together or get a home run or build a rally. After 2004, I get it. It was a big gap in between when the Yankees went to the ALCS and the World Series. I get that. But after 2004, when they got there in 2009, both Jeter and Arod, they won a championship together. And Arod, you can say that he carried us in 2009. No one's going to argue against that, against Minnesota, against the Angels, and against Phillies. It was Arod, but Jeter was literally right there also. And 09, didn't he finish like second to
He had an amazing year.
Oh my God, the first baseman from Minnesota at the time.
Justin Morneau.
To Justin Morneau, an MVP voting.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about that recently. I think it was 99 and 09. Even though I think Manny Ramirez had like a stupid good year one of those years. And I think Pedro also, it was something like that. I forgot who it was that beat him those years, but I believe you can make a strong argument that Jeter should have definitely won in 99. I mean, off the top of my head, I think he hit 349 that year, 24 homers, 90-something RBIs, or 102 RBIs. I think it's his only 100 RBI year, but my God, I mean, Jeter was an absolute animal that year. And that's the funny thing, a lot of times, Jeter's one of those guys who is like, look, personal awards didn't mean anything for real because look at the 5 rings I got. So what are we talking about here?
Bingo.
Because a lot of people will sit there, hey, he never won an MVP. But Jeter was also always the table setter. He wasn't meant to be the guy that driving the runs. Derek was always the table setter. He was always the guy that said, let me get on for Paulie. Let me get on for Bernie. Let me get on for Mark. Let me get on for Arod. That's who Jeter was. And look, man, people want to talk whatever they want to talk about now, how baseball's changed, has gotten better. Let me tell you something. Jeter would have been hitting 320, 330 in today's baseball. Like it's nothing in his prime. I don't want to hear, guys, I saw some girl on Twitter, right? Guys throw harder now. Shut up. What is that? What did Jeter play in 1926?
Yeah.
Jeter didn't face 95 plus? What are you talking about?
Jeter was facing pitchers that were juicing. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, come on, stop it. I saw that. I said, come on. Some people just got to stop.
Man.
You're trying way too hard at this point.
Back in 2007, 2008, when I was a young pupperoni, I was working at Lombardi's Pizza, right?
Hey, Lombardi's!
Hey, I had the pleasure of meeting Yogi Berra at his late stage in his life, and he was an awesome human being. And I asked him, I was like, out of the Yankees that you've seen or whatever, who's the most exciting or who's the most winning? Like I asked him, who do you like when? And he joked. He was like, well, besides me and my guys, Mick and Whitey and them, after him, he said it's Derek Jeter. He said the one thing that Jeter had over him is that Jeter came in and won 4 championships right off the back. He said that he thought Jeter was going to pass him, but the team or whatever. But he was very adamant by saying that Jeter, after him, Jeter was his favorite Yankee to watch.
Yeah, no, definitely. Shout out to Yogi, man. What a GOAT.
Yeah,
what a GOAT
awesome,
Yogi
man.
is.
Funny
absolute
too.
Legend.
But even at that age, bro, funny.
Shout out to the Italian ball players out there. How you doing?
How you doing?
I do.
I like the pizza though.
Sure. I mean, look, pizza banging. I can't wait when I come up to New York, man.
We gotta make pizza stops. We definitely gonna make pizza shop.
Gotta make pizza stops, man.
I got a guy that he runs Scott Pizza Tours. I've known him since 2007, and it's it is the number 1 tour in New York City. right? So we
Really?
definitely got to go to Scott Pizza Tours. He starts off in Little Italy, takes you around, shows you the history, where this was at, where that was at. We
Facts.
go to Lombardi's, we go to Raids, and it's real dope. So I can't wait for you to come, bro.
Oh, yeah, sounds good, man. Let's jump over to the next one. This is my
do it,
guy
baby.
right here. That's from my guy, Derek. Now, Derek's not really getting yanked here, but we like the message here. Let's flip it on over because Derek is giving us a little bit of optimism.
Yeah.
All right?
Shout out
Giving
to
us a
Derek.
little bit of optimism. Shout out to Derek there. For those of you convinced the Yankees are done, here are a couple of deals that happened in February. And, of course, that is the Rocket and the guy we've been talking about, Alex Rodriguez. Guess
And
what? Hope? You got any hope?
I got a little bit of hope. You know, these two were last seconds decisions. Also, when it comes to trading for Arod, everybody thought he was going to Boston. Everybody had it already signed up. He was
thought
going
he
to
was.
Boston. He thought he was even going to Boston, right? But it switched. He came over here. Same thing with Roger Clemens. Everybody had him going to a West Coast team, but he winded up with the Yankees. For me personally, I don't think that we're done. Right. Is it going to be the next guy we talk about, Brian Reynolds? I'm not sure if it's going to be him, but I know that the Yankees, as what it is right now, is definitely not going to be done, bro.
Yeah, man. And it's like one of those real fun conversations that you could talk about until a move is made. And then if a move isn't made, you're kind of like shocked, like, whoa, we really didn't do nothing? And I know there's some people out there that's going to be like, well, what are you not reading the Yankees well? I feel like I read the Yankees pretty well. And the reason why I'm saying I think they are going to make a trade is because, look, Brian Cashman hasn't gone out there and actually made his mark on this offseason. And Hector, I know maybe you've got this, but I've got this. A lot of people go, Pete, what about the signings? Look, from my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, the guy getting the credit for all that is Steinbrenner.
Yeah.
He's been getting all the love. Look, he's gotten the love from the players on it. Rodon shouted him out. Aaron Judge didn't even want to look at Brian Cashman. I mean, he didn't even want to show Brian Cashman. He was like, yeah, this dude had no part in anything we did whatsoever. So knowing that that is the case and knowing that Brian Cashman has an ego, fam, and here's the other thing too. They haven't done nothing on the trade side. So when I think of Brian Cashman, all I keep thinking in my head is, Pete, let's be realistic here. They're probably working on something that maybe nobody really expected. And it's one of those deals that he goes, hey, I've been working on this for 2 months. And we finally got it done. I just can't see them not doing something.
Bro, when you look at, we already mentioned the deals that we could say how locked in, right? The decisions he made. We could put that to the side.
Yeah.
The little minor moves that Cashman has done when it comes to Willie Calhoun, Rafael Ortega, making that trade with the Braves, all these little all these minor players that he brought in, these are all players that they're depth pieces, right? They're pieces that you put in AAA to hold the spot for somebody coming up. So that goes to show you that who's ever on the AAA roster, you may be moved. Right, you may be included on a trade, right? So not Volpe, not saying Volpe, but just saying hypothetically, if the Yankees are going out there signing former major league players that has major league experience, but just the depth pieces, it's not just one guy; it's multiple guys that they added to their roster for the depth,
infield and outfield too. I mean, they've kind of covered all of it, right? So
and it's not just one. Like you said, if it was just a few outfielders, that's different, but it's been a mixture of outfielders, infielders, and pitching also.
Correct. So, and that's what I said, like, I see a couple people in the chat throwing some names out there. The Cardinals, as Rich Rascucci just threw out there, Tyler O'Neill can be had from the Cardinals. And that's one of the teams I actually talked about on Hot Balls yesterday. I don't think Brandon Donovan's going to be available, but that guy's a beast, man. Brandon Donovan's an animal. Lars Nootbaar, I would do cartwheels if they got Nootbaar just because I can make a T-shirt with a Nootbaar on it. I already see it.
It's a perfect
cool marketing
name,
thing,
bro.
right? Lars Nootbaar. Imagine like left field. They left field Nootbaar.
I could just imagine John Sterling in the home run call.
Sterling would have a fun time with that. But
the Nootbaar, with the nuke.
So I mean, like it's fun to think because as a fan, you do. All of us have a little bit of that L.I. Yankee King mindset in us where it's like, let's look for trades. Yeah. Who's a good trade target that the Yankees could go after? Now, we might not go a little crazy with it, but I mean, look, I think the Cardinals are a good match. I don't know if the Twins are going to trade Arod, who has played left field. I don't know they're going to do that. There's already rumors. I also heard a couple of days ago, I actually texted some friends of mine that, and I think it's coming out now even more, that they may be discussing multiple deals with the Marlins for some of their young pitching, maybe Arise or even Kepler in deals like that. So we'll see what happens there, but the Yankees got time. That's the cool thing is they got time. It's not like they got 12 holes to fill. You know what I mean? On that offense side, they just got to get a lefty bat that I feel puts the ball in play. And hell, here's the other evidence that they could be working on a deal. They tried extremely hard to land Dalton Varsho.
Yeah.
Meaning they were willing to give up something good to get Dalton Varsho. I highly doubt, knowing Brian Cashman, that that's the only team and player he was talking about. He's been talking about. Just doesn't make sense.
No.
It doesn't make sense. So he's comfortable trading something. Depending on what that is, maybe it's not enough to get Reynolds, but maybe it's enough to get somebody else.
With the Minnesota Twins, it is interesting you bring them up, but with the Minnesota Twins going in and paying the money for Carlos Correa, Luis Arraez, they may not have the money to pay him in a couple of years when he hit free agency, right? They have control of him for 2 more seasons, and then he hits free agency, right? So that could possibly be a trade possibility. That would be the perfect leadoff hitter in Yankee Stadium. And a left-handed left-handed batter also pop a few in Yankee Stadium. Perfect leadoff hitter. That's the type of traditional leadoff hitter we have been missing, right? Correct. We have been missing that for years and years. And we could go back to when Brett Gardner was kind of in his prime and was doing his thing. But Brett Gardner, he was a low batting average, kind of pop a few here or there, but he wasn't that traditional leadoff hitter. You may have to go back to Johnny Damon 2006 before age caught up to him. So that's the last time we actually had a traditional leadoff hitter, because Jeter was a number 2 hitter. He would lead off, but he wasn't a traditional one as well.
Right. And that's the crazy thing when it comes to when people talk about, oh, you need so much more. What I think a lot of people don't understand is how much a leadoff hitter makes the rest of the lineup good. Ricky Henderson made his teams great. Even bad Yankee teams, Mattingly was driving all the runs. Ricky Henderson was on base. I mean, that's why he was able to drive in all those runs. A good leadoff hitter changes everything on a lineup. And that's why I talk a lot about lineup placement. It does mean something. You can't just say, let me bat whoever anywhere and we'll figure it out, or analytic this, analytic that. Stick to the traditional side of making a lineup. You might have some things you move around a little bit, but the Yankees do need a good leadoff hitter.
Yeah, and talking about leadoff hitters that make a big impact, the 03 Marlins, the reason we lost to them was because of Juan Pierre.
Juan Pierre, beast.
Beast.
Juan Pierre. Go back to 01, Tony Womack.
Another one. I mean, he's the one who got that hit off of Mariano before Gonzalez came up, right? So that's another one right there. So having a really good traditional leadoff hitter could change your lineup for the better. Alfonso Soriano, amazing power, amazing speed. He wasn't a leadoff hitter, right? He struck out too much. He wasn't drawing he wasn't drawing walks. He wasn't wearing the pitcher out. So we need to go back to having a traditional leadoff hitter, and that's what we've been missing in this lineup.
Facts. Big time. You're 100% right. And as Rich says, Anthony Volpe is the type of a leadoff hitter of the way he bats right now. And that's true. Yeah. That is true. Anthony Volpe has basically everything you could think of somebody you'd want to be a leadoff hitter, even more so than Oswald Peraza, because Volpe has a better eye than Peraza does. Yeah. Peraza's not a big walk guy. He wants to kind of put the bat on the ball, and he will put the bat on the ball, but I definitely agree with that on the Volpe side. So, maybe the Yankees have one coming up, but it'll be even better to go out there and get one now because we want to win this year.
The only thing that scares me about Volpe, and I'll make this quick before we go on to the next one, the only thing that scares me about Volpe is that when you look at his numbers in the minor leagues, he hasn't been a high batting average kind of guy.
No.
He hasn't. When you look at Derek Jeter in the minors league, Derek Jeter is hitting 317, 320, 325 in every level. So that's the only. Now, could it change coming up to the majors? Could it change next year, getting a few extra at-bats in AAA? Absolutely. But I'm just saying for right now, that's the only hesitations I have with Volpe.
Well, here's the thing that I could say, and I've said it for a long time. That's why I'm happy I cover my bases. I've told everybody what you should expect from Anthony Volpe. Anybody out there expected Derek Jeter, calm down. Don't do it. When it comes to the mindset, cool. He does have that mindset. He is a winner. He's a high baseball IQ guy. And a lot of times, Dane Huber brought this up when we talked about him, and Dane is right because scouts have told me this too, is that's what a lot of times make up the other stuff that he might lack. You know, when you look at prospects, probably you look at the grade scale. He may not have the highest grade scale compared to other top prospects, but people feel like the baseball IQ makes up for all that. And that's a realistic thing. Yeah. But to sit there and be like he's going to come to the majors and bat 330, I hope he does, but I don't think that's very likely.
Yeah, it's not realistic. If he does, I'll shut up and I'll eat the crow. I'll eat my words,
I'll
bro.
be the happiest
100%.
person in the world. Be the happiest person in the world.
Serve me up right now.
Facts, big time.
Yeah, but let's go over to the next one before we do.
Big old Reynolds. Let's talk about that. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no. Before we do, but shout out to Ivan Manny in the chat as well. Bed-Stuy CWE is in the building. I see you. Chris Perez Jr. Chrissy,
my guy.
Pooh. Chris, what it do? Frankie Baseball's in the building. My guy Frankie, what it do? NYY News, Ruben is in the building. Ruben, what it do? Listen, guys, Ruben and I will be teeing off on the Yankees Morning Brew in a couple of weeks. But over here it says, yeah, I'm not giving up 2 of Volpe, Peraza, Dominguez for Reynolds. When it comes to the New York Post article on what the Pittsburgh Pirates wanted, bro, it's grand larceny. They wanted 2 of the top 3, and they wanted multiple top prospects. I know you talked about that yesterday on your Blazing Balls show and everything like that, but I
like that, Blazing Balls. That could be another one. Get yanked, hot balls, blazing balls. What are we doing over here?
No, but honestly, it's highway robbery. Brian Reynolds, he is an amazing baseball player. I'm not taking anything away from him, but what they want for him, I don't want to overpay for him. And if there's going to be a team out there that's going to overpay for him, most likely would be the Texas Rangers.
Yeah, man. I actually got a couple of things that I want to say about that article. First, we got a super chat from the legendary one, Ra Thompson. So let me get to that real quick. Let me close this screen out real fast. Ross says, it's amazing how the Yankees never have the prospects to trade for anyone good, but yet never sign anyone because they are waiting on their prospects. It has been a little bit of a weird place for the Yankees with that. Yeah. Definitely. Let me say something real quick, and I might have to rant a little here.
Uh-oh.
Let me tell you something about that New York Post article. That New York Post article could get yanked. It's nonsense. I don't want to hear it. It's nonsense. That's never been the ask. I don't believe it. I'm sorry. I don't believe it. I don't. Like Roger Rabbit, when he found out that Jessica Rabbit was playing patty cake. I don't believe it. I can't believe it. I won't believe it. I don't believe it. It's that simple. I don't believe it. Let me tell you why I don't believe it. If the Yankees were willing to part with one of those guys, they'd have a friggin' deal. I'm telling you right now. Look, I said this on Hot Balls yesterday. I don't want to hear this people, oh my God, why hasn't Reynolds been traded? You mean to tell me there's not one team out there willing to give 2 of their top 5? Nonsense. It's because they're not getting the offer. They know they're not getting the offer. They're trying to pull in anything in like the top 3 and say, okay, let's structure something here. I don't believe there's been a moment where the New York Yankees came out and said, hey, we'll give you Jason Dominguez plus. And the Pirates said, no. I'm sorry. No. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe that the Rangers came out that said, take on number 3. Whatever his name is, their top pitching prospect. And the Pirates,
Jack Leiter.
We need 2 more guys. No, I don't believe it. Look, Brian Reynolds is sitting there saying, I don't want to be here. I want no part of you guys. You're not going to re-sign me, throwing $90 million my way. Get out of here.
Yeah. You know,
I don't believe it.
Earlier today, there was a Texas Ranger Texas Ranger style YouTube channel that was on. They have like a forum of different Ranger fans. It was pretty dope. It was called Rangers Hot Takes.
Shout out to them.
Shout out to Rangers Hot Take. It was a really dope channel, but it was Ranger fans talking about Brian Reynolds, and they said, I'm not trading Jack Leiter, let alone Jack Leiter and Kumar Rocker for Brian Reynolds. No.
Bro, I'll tell you right now, that ain't going to happen.
No, definitely not going to. No matter how much of an improvement the Rangers pitching rotation is right now, you're not going to trade 2 of like the top 10 pitchers in baseball for Brian Reynolds.
And look, that is just the facts of the matter. Look, I'm the number 1 supporter out there, Brian Reynolds. I like the guy a lot. I think he really makes the Yankees lineup better. And I think it's a move that if you look at the Yankees lineup, forget everything else. Just look at their lineup. He really fits. He's like one of the best fits you could find for a guy that could bat ahead of Aaron Judge. Going to see a lot more fastballs. It's going to be very, very nice. My whole thing is, again, I just go back to it. They know who Brian Reynolds is. They're trying to overvalue Brian Reynolds. And this is coming from somebody who really likes him. I like him a lot. I'd give up Jason Dominguez for him tomorrow. And Dominguez might go on to be a great ball. I don't care. I'm moving him because I think Spencer, in my opinion, I got Spencer Jones high. It is what it is. But, bro, I give up whatever it takes in that regard. If it's one of those three, Dominguez is the guy I'm going. And I say, here's the other guys. And I truly believe, again, if the Yankees picked up the phone and they said, hey, look, Dominguez could be the centerpiece of this deal. I'm going to give you a list of 5 other guys in our top 7 to 15. You could choose 2 of these certain names that we pick. I truly believe the Pirates would go, I don't know. And then they'll call back eventually and go, is that offer still on the table? Let's discuss that further. I just can't see them sitting there. Look, they got no leverage.
Yeah.
The only leverage is, well, we control him. Well, guess what? Every day that goes by, he's goes to the free agency. And the value goes down. They're going to take the risk of next year, him getting off to a slow start again maybe, and being sold for nothing?
Yeah.
Can't be that stupid. Like, they're a stupid organization, don't get me wrong. But they've done some stupid stuff. Very stupid stuff. But man, oh man, I mean, this would be beyond dumb not to deal with this guy now. But who the hell knows with them?
But absolutely, I'm not disagreeing with you whatsoever. But when you check the tone of the Pittsburgh Pirates fan base, their fan base, they're so upset. They do not want to trade Brian Reynolds. Like, you hear them on Twitter, you hear them on YouTube, you hear them on Twitch. You go around on Twitch, you hear them crying, saying, do not trade. If you trade Brian Reynolds, I will not go to not one game. Hell, they hardly have any fans in attendance as it is, right?
Facts.
I do not understand, right? When you look at that state, Pennsylvania, right? Pittsburgh, Philadelphia. Philadelphia has a crazy market, so much money. Pittsburgh, you guys are in the same state. It's like the Yankees and the Mets not wanting to spend for years.
Correct,
you guys
correct.
share the same revenue when it comes to TV deals and structure because you're in the same state. When you look down to the numbers for the TV deals, it's literally the same. So what is going on with the Pittsburgh Pirates that they have become such an embarrassment of a franchise? Listen, the New York, Josh Donaldson, we're going to bring it up also later on, but Josh Donaldson, he's making more money than what the Pittsburgh Pirates payroll is going to be, bro. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. It's shameful, man, because here's the other great thing about the Pirates. They got arguably the most beautiful ballpark in baseball. I want to try to go there. I think they play the Yankees later in the year over there at PNC. I might try to get over there because it really is a beautiful ballpark. And look, as Yankees farm says, maybe he's right. Maybe the Pirates are just not serious about dealing them. And they're just like, look, we're not going to do it. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. And look, this is an organization that I follow closely because I got a lot of friends that are big Pirates fans. And they always give me information on players if I ask about it. They gave me information when they got Clay Holmes. And they're like, hold on, Pete, wait a second. This was no stupid deal. Like, the guy, if he gets his control under, he's really good. I'm like, really? So my whole thing with that situation is it just doesn't make sense for the Pirates to hold on to him. Because I've been the first one to sit here and say the Pirates have a very good young crop coming up. But that crop might not be prepared to really gun for with Reynolds on the team. So if you can sit back and go, we can add Dominguez to that crop, who's in Double-A. Maybe we had a Clark Schmidt who's immediately in our rotation. Maybe we had a Luis Hill who's immediately in our rotation. Worst case scenario, could be a closer type or late inning arm. Why would your fan base be upset with that? But I don't know. They want their homegrown guys. But look, unfortunately, their organization isn't keeping them. Yeah,
and, being Puerto Rican, right, and, being from the island, the Pittsburgh Pirates, they have a special place in my heart because of Roberto Clemente, right? Because of Clemente, the Pittsburgh Pirates, they have a big place in my heart, and not only me, but the people on the island as well. So to see what's happening right now, if I was a part of that, it's embarrassing, bro. I feel so bad for that fan base, bro. I really do, because it's a loyal fan base, right? They are a loyal fan base right now, but it's just hard, bro, honestly. So they need to figure out something. They brought back Andrew McCutchen, right? So they brought back McCutchen. Yeah. So maybe they're just gonna try to milk McCutchen early in the season for ticket sales, but who knows?
Yeah, that's and I know some people already messing me. It's like, oh, does that mean they're trading Reynolds? No. Yeah. Nah, that doesn't mean they're trading Reynolds.
If I can, I just want to shout out the chat real quick. Do. I saw Backstage Baseball in the building. My man Hello said, seeing Pete on the panel It's like he said, "What up, Pete and Hector? This is like when the teacher is out and the principal subs." Absolutely, bro. Shout out to my man Halal, and also Jira put it in the chat. If you guys can subscribe to KOD Media, come watch the open panel that Pete was on. Come up over there. Every Thursday we do an open panel. Ivan Manny was on this past Monday. Caputo was on. So you guys, anybody, you guys are more than welcome to come on an open panel that I host on Thursdays. But hit that like button. We are 41 likes away. So hit those likes for your boys.
Yeah, guys, do us a favor, man. Look, YouTube's getting a little strict with that stuff, man. And hitting that like button means an absolute ton. That's the reason we bring it up so much. So just come in here, hit that like button. It's not hard to do. It's a little thumbs up. You just give it a little clicky, and that's it. And you're ready to go. Like turning on your TV remote. You know, you just click, and that's it. Give it a little
Exactly.
As Happy Gilmore said, give it a little tap.
Give it a little tap. You would have made Jigga Man's day.
Oh, yeah. Shout out Jigga Man.
Shout out my bro Jigga Man. That is his favorite movie. He's dying to meet Adam Sandler. One of these days we will make it happen.
Legendary. Next one, we coming up?
Yes, sir. Yeah, let's go to the next one, baby.
All right. Hey, man, this is a nice word. This puts a smile on my face, man. There's 45 days until Yankees' first spring training game. Let's do it, baby.
Absolutely, bro. It's less than 20. It's like 20 something before pitchers and catchers report, 30 something maybe. But yeah, 40 something days before the first spring training game. And I can't wait. Like I am fiending right now. We was talking how the Yes Network, they're doing random top 10s over there. They don't know what to do with themselves. John Flaherty's over there not knowing what to do. But yeah, 45 days until the Yankees spring training game, first spring training game. What's your feelings, bro?
I'm excited, man, for multiple reasons. One is right here on my head. Game Season Live 23 is getting ready to come back. And may I say, man, now that I look at this hat, what hat is fire? This hat is fire right here, man. Game Season Live. You got the bat in there, guys, available at NyynewsTV.com. And we got another cool announcement, too, on NyynewsTV.com, guys. We have actually just added, and I'm still working on it, getting it together, so it's under maintenance right now. We're going to have a news section, so we're going to have articles posted.
Nice.
So we got the writers coming in already. Dane Huber's going to really eat that part up. He's very happy about that, especially when it comes to the prospect side. But we'll have some other writers, too, coming in and giving you guys some information on the Yankees. As I promised you guys, we're going to make a big effort this year, too, to really attack that prospect section in the whole market. But I'm excited, man. I can't wait. I really can't wait. Like, even with the Yankees not having a left fielder, I can't lie and say I'm not excited. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Look, would I be angry if they don't make it? Of course. Will I say it wasn't the best offseason? Yes, I will. I mean, I'll give them their flowers where they deserve it. But Brian Cashman is going to feel my wrath badly. He's going to feel my wrath this offseason if they don't make another move. Because Derek Jeter said it best. We've talked a lot about Jeter. Talked a lot about Arod this episode. Yankee fans boo because they want to cheer. And that's just the fact of the matter is, look, we got a new captain this year. Got the captain hat right behind me up here.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? We got so much cool stuff coming. We got you guys here. You guys doing a Get Yanked. It's such a fun show. Everybody really loves it. Got amazing reviews on it. And we got a whole year. You guys are going to be doing some Game Season Live every now and then maybe. So I'm really excited about the overall year, the Yankee team, the network that we're building here. KOD Media is doing fantastic. So I'm just excited about the great people that we have around our circle, and it's just going to be a tremendous season. Greatness around greatness, it only brings out the best of everyone, right? And that's right.
I'm super excited for this season. I was telling you backstage, I'm going to keep on telling you, bro, thank you for this opportunity. The people in the chat have been amazing. The love has been awesome. The feedback has been awesome. But this Yankee team, right, around January, February, this is when we start getting antsy because we know what's around the corner, right? It's like that. It's like August, right before school starts, when you start buying your clothes and you're looking at your clothes and you laying out outfits and your mom's screaming at you because you're going to get them dirty. And 9 times out of 10, you do get them dirty before you even wear them.
My dad buying me those red-ass Nikes he bought me that time. Made me go to school with some red-ass Nikes on. At like 7 years old, so embarrassed, getting called clown shoes. Still to this day, I feel the effect from it, damn it.
Listen, bro, I went to school one time. It was the 7th grade. My mom got me a pair of Columbia boots, like winter boots. Kids were calling me Stone Cold Steve Austin because I was walking in school with those big-ass boots.
Did you throw the fingers up? Did you walk in, throw the fingers up?
I was getting upset throwing fingers up left and right, bro. You already know.
That's classic, man. I was coming up in there like Pennywise.
Yeah.
God, wearing those big ass. They were big and clunky too. Funny thing is, right? My pops got so mad. He's like, "I'll wear them." Then I was like, "All right, cool, wear them." No, I had to be older. I was older than 7 then, because his shoe wasn't like a size 7 in boys or something like that.
That's
Whatever
hilarious,
size it
bro.
was. But no, man, he started rocking the red shoes. I think I wore them one time, bro. I was like, I can't do it, man. I can't. You know, Pops probably laid a couple into me on that too. Like, I can't, Pops. I can't do it, man. But those red shoes, man.
We all got that one outfit as a kid that you just embarrassed of because your parents send you to school with it on. So, it's all makes for fun. Me personally, I was a big fan of the light up sneakers. So, hell yeah. Fifth grade light up sneakers. What? I'm tap dancing left and right.
That shit was mandatory. If you wasn't rocking those, man, your childhood wasn't right.
Exactly, bro. If you ain't have it, and look, the Power Ranger sheets, and this is the authentic one too, because they didn't color the Pink Ranger. If you guys remember when you guys got those Power Ranger sheets, the Pink Ranger was always gray, never pink or whatever. But yeah, childhood.
Bro, man, I tell you what, man, like we really did, like people in our age group, 30, 35, a little up, whatever it is. We had some great times, man. If you really think about it, like remember the cartoons, man. We had G.I. Joe. I was thinking of G.I. Joe this morning. Transformers, G.I. Joe,
I'm not sure if you remember
Universe.
Tomcats. You remember
Tomcats?
Of course, was my jam. Tomcats,
I mean, we had so much, man. We had so much fun stuff growing up, man. Sometimes I argue with my son. I joke around when he was much younger, because my kids are teenagers now. But when he was much younger, man, they came out with the new Ninja Turtles, and I remember seeing he was watching. I said, "What is this nonsense?" He goes, "These are the Ninja Turtles." I said, "What did they get off the steroids? These dudes are skinny. What are the Ninja Turtles eating? They ain't eating that New York pizza. Ain't no nutrients in there.
No.
They ain't something different. Like, what diet are they on? Nah, you got to get yoked."
It's a plant-based diet, bro. It's
Fam, our Ninja Turtles were yoked. Remember how many juice snacks they were taking? They were juicing up daily.
But not even that, bro. Our Ninja Turtles, when you watch the movies, we actually had Ninja Turtle movies that were actually good.
Yeah,
where the costumes actually good. It wasn't the CGI yoked up, roided up, Ninja Turtles that you see nowadays. But we actually had, look, somebody put it in the chat, the best wrestling, the best boxing, the best movies.
Easy,
hands down.
Easy.
Especially when it comes to wrestling back then, the Attitude Era.
Attitude Era. God. But you had ECW then. WCW was hot with the NWO.
But Hector's Rocksteady from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You know what? You are absolutely right. I'll be
Bebop, fam. I'm happy to be Bebop.
Bebop and Rocksteady.
Bebop and Rocksteady right here, man.
The vegan Mutant Ninja Turtles. Absolutely, bro. Darkwing Duck. 19 Comment is in the building. 19 Comment, what it do? Darkwing Duck. Comment knows me, man. I've known 19 Comment for I want to say over a year. He knows me from when I first started in the Knicks content world over there on Blormer's Tips. So shout out to my man 19 Comment also. Yeah. The Garbage Pail Kids. Oh my God, the Garbage Pail Kids.
Come on, I'm telling you, man. Like somebody needs to bring this stuff back. Like we gotta make the best music. Music was dope, but even the TV show music was fire. All those cartoon shows. Remember the X-Men cartoon? The
intros was sick, bro. Even the sitcoms had amazing intros, bro.
It's crazy.
Bro, it's ridiculous. But let's throw up the next one up because this is more of a fun, right? This is a throwback to the lineup that we had from last year.
Oh, yeah, guys, you might want to cover your eyes a little bit.
Cover your eyes. You may cry. The opening day lineup from last year. And let's try to imagine what the opening day lineup could be for this season for 2023. But
I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have you read this one, man. I can't do it. I can't.
God, I got you, bro.
When it pops up there, I'm looking at it right now. My eyes are burning a little bit. So,
well, to lead it off, they had Josh Donaldson at third base, Aaron Judge in right, Anthony Rizzo, Giancarlo Stanton, DJ LeMahieu. All right, those 4 is fine. Forget Josh Donaldson. But then you had Joey Gallo in left, Aaron Hicks in center field,
Joey Gabagoo,
and Kyle Higashioka at catcher, and Isaiah kind of falafel waffles at shortstop, bro. Disgusting starting lineup, probably one of the worst starting lineups in Yankees history. But bro, what's your predictions of this starting lineup? What if you was Boone? Hopefully we could get you to be Aaron Boone one of these days, right? Replace Pete Simonetti with Aaron Boone. What's your Yankee opening day lineup?
Wow, man. Is DJ LeMahieu healthy?
Yes, he's healthy. Let's just mark it down. He's healthy.
All right, DJ LeMahieu. Okay, I'm gonna need to. All right, so we're gonna do this on the spot, right? Let's do this on the spot. This is what we do. This is what we do over here. You don't get this nowhere else, okay? This is what we do. So let me do this real quick. All right, so let's be fair. Catcher is Trevi. All right, we got that. We know Trev's the catcher. First base, we know is Rizzo. Second base, obviously, is going to be Glaber because we don't know if there's going to be a deal or what. There hasn't been one, so we'll give it to Torres. Third baseman, I'm going DJ LeMahieu. I don't know if you disagree, but I'm going DJ.
I'm going right with you. I do not want to see JD over there.
Shortstop Peraza, right? We agree with that. Left field, we give it to Cabrera right now.
I agree.
Center field, we got Bader. Right field, of course, the captain.
The captain, yep.
And then DH, of course, is Big G. So for me, I got to have DJ as my leadoff, guys, if he's healthy. DJ LeMahieu will be the leadoff. And I'm sorry, guys, but I know people are going to say, Pete, you got to go ahead and go with Judge batting second because of this, because of that. I'm not doing it. I'm actually going to make a stretch here. He strikes out a bit much for my liking. But I'm going to do it because I do think whoever the Yankees get in left field might be batting second. I'm going to put Cabrera second.
Okay.
Just because he's a second. Is my favorite
I ain't mad at that.
I ain't mad at that. Some people might say, what about Peraza? I'm okay if you want to put Peraza too, but I'm a big fan of the righty-lefty thing. I'm a big fan of the mix and match. Of course, Aaron Judge is your 3-hitter. These are the easy moments. Anthony Rizzo's the 4-hitter. Number 5 is Big G. We know that. Number 6, you go right to Gleyber Torres. Number 7, this is where you mix it up a little bit. I'm going Bader, Trevino, Peraza.
All right.
That's how I'm going.
All right.
So it would be DJ, Cabrera, Judge, Rizzo, G, Torres, Bader, Trevino, Peraza. A much better lineup than last year.
Oh, 100%. Much better lineup than last year.
And that's the thing that we've been telling people, right? Is that you could say they haven't improved, but when they have all these guys for a whole season, you could be overly optimistic and go with the new rule changes. It might be a little better.
Yeah,
might be a little
just might be a little bit different. And then you got to understand moves will happen in the season as well, during the season, right? This opening day roster is better than last year's opening day lineup, right? 100%, right?
No
and
doubt.
You could expect Brian Cashman to make moves going forward. I will counter with you with this. I will have Bader leading it off. I'll keep Cabrera in the 2-hole because I like that righty lefty, in between to switch up. Keep Judge as a 3 spot, then Anthony Rizzo, then Giancarlo Stanton. But this is where I differ. I want DJ LeMahieu to be protecting Giancarlo Stanton, right? Because Torres strikes out a bit too much. So what I want, the perfect balance between Stanton, who strikes out, and Torres, who strikes out, is someone who puts the ball in play, right? So I feel DJ LeMahieu will be the perfect balance in between Stanton and in between and Torres, right? And then I will go with Trevino, then Peraza, and then who's the last one? Whoever's the last one, just put the last one in. Yeah.
Trevino,
yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with that. We also saw Bader got some time in the playoffs in that leadoff spot, and man, Bader was the best hitter in the postseason.
Oh, 100%.
For the Yankees by far. What he hit? 4 homers?
4 home runs, hit over 350 also.
Yeah, so I mean, overall for Harrison Bader, I mean, he hit all his Yankee home runs in the postseason, and he really showed up, and that's a good sign. You know what I mean? That's a good sign for the Yankees when they do something like that. Let's see here. I got a quick update here. This from the Yankees will have their first full squad workout of spring on February 20th, and it's likely there won't be a new face strolling out to left field. This is just a prediction. This is from what are that guy's names? Kirshner. I forgot what he writes for. But he says he doesn't expect the Yankees to get Kepler, McCarthy, Reynolds, or Santander. So he doesn't expect any of those to happen. But okay.
What's your feelings on Anthony Santander? Because I'm not that opposed. He's a switch hitter. How many times against Baltimore did he come through with a big hit late?
Well, he kills the Yankees.
Yeah, late in the game.
If just by watching the games alone, I could probably tell you he's very successful at Yankee Stadium. And Richard, you could be my bench coach, man. No problem.
Yeah, 100% Rich.
Yeah, I would be all for that, man. And look, I guess it comes down to how much of a threat do you feel like Baltimore is going to become? And does Baltimore say, you know what? We got a really good young team. Like, we got one of the best pitching prospects in Major League Baseball also. That's Grayson Rodriguez, who's not far away. So they also got DL Hall, who's an absolute beast left-handed. Probably not going to stick as a starter, but in the pen, he's going to dominate. Andrew Miller all day.
BJ Ryan.
Yeah, a lot like BJ Ryan. But you look at that, and if you're the Warriors, I guess you got to decide on, is it worth it? Is it worth giving the Yankees somebody that's going to help them this year when maybe we could do some more competing than people think? Maybe that's the case, but I like him. I like him a lot. I would hate to listen to Michael K say his name all day, but if that's what it takes,
Michael K is going to try to pronounce it properly. Listen,
he does it all the time. Santander,
Yes.
Santander. I'm like, bro, shut up, fam.
What about Cedric Mullins? Because it seems like Baltimore is trying to trade Cedric Mullins this offseason. What's your thoughts on Cedric? I know he had a down season last year from the season before when he was an All-Star. Yeah. Would you take a gamble on Mullins?
Bro, I'll just say it like this, right? We just talked about leadoff hitters. He's a leadoff hitter.
He's a leadoff hitter.
You know what I mean?
Left-handed too.
And his Yankee Stadium, you might see a lot of that goodness come back. And look, the one thing you got to remember too, and I tell people this when it comes to Brian Reynolds, when it comes to Cedric Mullins, is these guys came off really good years the year prior, 2021. 2022, who knows what type of pressure they put on them and who's protecting them?
Yeah.
Mullins had a little more with Mountcastle, Rushman coming up, those guys. But a lot of those guys want to be the man. You know what I mean? They want to be the man for the team. And that's a little added pressure that could hurt you a little bit. So for me, I would all day say, hey, man, come to the Yankees lineup. Because a lot of people, when you look at these things, I always tell people, don't just look at the number for the team they played for. Think about how that might change when they became a Yankee and enter our lineup. That's a big difference. Like even Rich was saying in the lineup, he goes, Pete, I like Cabrera batting second because one, he strikes out a lot, yeah, but he's going to get a lot more fastballs to hit. And one thing we know about Cabrera, he can launch a fastball.
He could turn them
He's
real quick.
That swing is fast. He can line a fastball somewhere pretty hard. So that's also a thing you got to think about. If you got a Mullins, if you got a Brian Reynolds, they're not going to be the man no more, and neither do they have to be. They know that already. So coming in, they'll already know we don't have to be the man here.
Yeah.
And I think it would make quite the difference for both of those guys, and the shift being gone.
And then also too, when you look at Cedric Mullins' numbers from last year, he was affected tremendously by the way that Baltimore switched that stadium. The way that they switched Camden Yards, even though he's a left-handed batter, Cedric Mullins went opposite field a lot, right? So what it did was it pushed back the wall and it brought in the left fielder just a little bit because they have that little bit of space. And a lot of those balls that were falling in before, they're outs now. They're outs now in that new left field over there.
I'll tell you what, man. That might be one of the worst baseball park decisions.
Oh, it looks disgusting now.
The sore eye out there looks for. By the way, you never been to that ballpark? Go to that. Unfortunately, you're not going to go there. You're going to have to go there now with the wall there.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful ballpark. Baltimore Camden Yards is a beautiful place to watch a baseball game. Been there a lot. I'll be there again this year, no doubt about it. It's a beautiful place to watch a game. But why would you do that? Like, what is their thought process on thinking? You got a guy who just a year prior in Mountcastle who's blasting homers all over the park. You're like, what's the best thing to do? He's a young stud. Let's make the wall bigger and push it back in left field for a right-handed hitter. What? What are you thinking? I don't know, man. That's just
did it help out their pitching staff? Yes,
maybe.
It helped out their pitching staff. Their pitching was a lot better, but the big sacrifice was Cedric Mullins having a bad year, right? Mountcastle had an okay year, but it wasn't what he did the year before.
Right. And the thing is, too, what they may have thought is a lot of their young guys coming up are lefty batters or switch hitters. Rushman's a switch hitter. Gunnar Henderson. You know, a lot of those guys are guys that they got another young guy. I forgot his name, but he's an outfield prospect. He's a lefty, too. He's really good. Close.
They just drafted Matt Holliday's son, who, if I'm not mistaken, is a left-handed hitter also.
Who people talk about as one of those like elite prospects. Like I'm talking about phenom level prospects. He's that good of a hitter. So he might get up there pretty quick. And maybe that's the reason they thought about it. They go, we got Grayson Rodriguez coming. We got a good group of young pitchers coming up too. Maybe this will help them. Maybe those lefty bats will carry us and these guys will help.
And, so
maybe it pays off eventually.
It may have affected the way they drafted because the top two prospects was Matt Holliday's son and Andrew Jones' son, Drew Jones.
That's right.
Matt Holliday's son bats from the left-hand side and Drew Jones bats from the right-hand side.
Yep.
So that stadium probably affected why they decided to go for the left-handed hitter and not the right-handed hitter.
Yep, that's right. And Tyler said it right. It's Stowers is their outfielder. That's correct.
Stowers,
copy, man. Yeah, so no, I would love Cedric Mullins. I would love Santander. I would love all those guys. I think it could work very, very well for the Yankees. And again, look, these are things that we're discussing. I think I gotta believe that I might knock Brian Cashman, but he's been around this game a long time.
Yeah.
There's no way in the world Brian Cashman hasn't put feelers out on all these guys. There's no way in the world. So again,
especially with his relationships throughout Major League Baseball, he is literally best friends with the general manager and the president over there in Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
So if he can't get anything done with his friend, they may be asking for too much. He's telling him, listen, realistically, you ain't gonna get that. That's why you have all these different news articles coming out. The Rangers, they'll be stupid if they trade through two of their pitchers, right? They have three.
I don't see it happening, man.
Top pitching prospects: Jack Leiter, Kumar Rocker, and the last guy, I forgot his name, Thompson or something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm not partnering with any of those because you do have DeGrom, you do have Nathan Eovaldi, but you have question marks. And if you have these elite pitching prospects coming up that are almost major league ready, you're not giving that up.
No, and that's the thing about the Texas Rangers is the one thing about the Rangers that people got to understand is they built a beautiful new ballpark that probably is a must-see also. Everybody's talking about it. It's like one of the greatest ballparks in America. So that's definitely something I want to get out there and see. But the other thing is, too, they just signed a gigantic TV deal.
Yeah.
They got a boatload of money. That's why they've been spending it. They're saying, we want to win. You know what I mean? So for a team like them, for them to say, we want to win, but we're going to give up all these prospects. We're going to give up all these guys. We're going to give up the pitching prospects that could enter in with a DeGrom in the next couple of years. But on top of that, they got Josh Young, who is a phenomenal prospect. Third baseman, could play short, second base. There'd be no reason for them to say, we're going to give all this up to bring him in because he's a missing piece. He's not for them.
No.
For the Yankees, you could make that argument to be like, you know what, for that offense,
he might be the missing piece. Yeah.
And I'm sorry, heck, I go back to what I said before, man. I just don't believe anybody's offering anything of substance.
Nah.
I don't believe it because he would have been gone. It just doesn't make sense. People could say they want to hold on to. Look, I get it. But after everything that has come out, as an organization, there got to be somebody in that organization smart enough that can sit there and go, guys, we do understand that every day that passes, his value goes down. It's going to go down. So what are we going to do here? And, I'll leave it at that. We talked about that before, but, I'll leave it at that. I just don't think anybody has offered something of substance. So I do think Cashman's out there working on something.
When the talk started happening about Brian Reynolds, when he came out and apparently told them that he wants to be traded, when that first came out, the Dodgers were heavily favored, right? Everybody, the Dodgers. It's been quiet because the Dodgers aren't trading their prospects because they're going to save that for Ohtani. Then it was the Mariners, and the Mariners is like, we don't have any prospects because we traded all of them for Castillo, the starting pitcher. So everyone that people try to attach to the Pittsburgh Pirates and Brian Reynolds, they've all fall back, and they aren't making any moves right now, right?
Yeah.
But the Yankees are the only one that's still there that even to their fan base is like, they're going to make a move, but Brian Cashman is playing as smart because he doesn't want to look like a fool at the end of this.
And here's the other thing too, right? That I think we can all agree with is if Brian Cashman has an understanding that, hey, look, you guys aren't getting the offer you want, why am I going to offer Dominguez for them? Why am I going to offer one of my top guys where the Dodgers aren't doing it? And now look, I'm not saying that they know every conversation that's out there, but I think Brian Cashman has a lot of people out there. You're not around for 30 plus years in an industry, and you don't know somebody from every organization pretty well.
Yep.
So I truly think that's probably the whole. Just put two and two together, guys. It's not that hard. Just put two and two together, man. I don't think they've been offered anything of substance that they're like, wow, this knocks our socks off. They're talking about Juan Soto. They're talking about, yeah, of course they're hyping it up because they want the best deal. I don't think they've gotten it. And I don't think the Yankees are willing to jump and go, okay, we'll do Dominguez. Because why would we if nobody's offering anything?
Yeah. And there's Juan Soto, he's here. Brian Reynolds is here. They're totally on different tiers when it comes to. I understand Juan Soto had a bad year last year. It was a down season for him. But even his down season is probably a little bit better than what Brian Reynolds did last year, right? So even that, they're on different tiers. So the packaging that you're going to get, one, Juan Soto's younger. Two, Juan Soto has been doing it since he's been 19 years old. He's been an all-star, won a championship. So it's just not going to be the same. And you're delusional if you think you're going to get a Juan Soto return.
Facts. No way in the world. Will you or should you? You're not gonna do it. And you're right. We talked about phenoms earlier, right? Juan Soto's a phenom, whether he had a down year or not. Juan Soto's one of those guys where would it shock anybody if he won an MVP next year? No. I think people would go, okay, Juan Soto was Juan Soto. Now I think if Brian Reynolds came to the American League and won an MVP, everybody like, holy shit, how did that happen? Even me, I like him, but I don't think he's an MVP candidate.
No.
Really, anywhere he goes to play, I think he could be a phenomenal baseball player. I think he could be an all-star, no doubt. But MVP candidate's a different level, and Juan Soto is just a different level ball player. To think that you're gonna get his demand, you're out your mind.
Yeah, it'd be a difference if you looked at Brian Reynolds' resume, right, and you were able to point out, oh wow, all-star MVP. Oh wow, he finished to the top 3 of MVP voting. Oh wow, rookie of the year. But you don't. You don't. The one thing he does have is he won a Gold Glove, and he's a solid defender. That's the one thing he has. Besides that, he's not even coming close to what Juan Soto his value is.
Yeah, no way. And like I said, I mean, when it comes to fitting a lineup, he really fits the Yankees fantastically. He really does. You could look at there at a lot of ball plays and go, all right, who's available? And I think you come to the conclusion most of the time that Brian Reynolds may be the best candidate for the Yankees. And that's whether you think he's an all-star or you don't. I think you look at it and you go, to be fair, he probably really is the best bet for the New York Yankees, and he's that guy. So we'll see what happens, but I got to keep it real, and I always do, is what we do here, Real Talk for the Real Fan. I can't see Brian Cashman not doing something. I can't.
Yeah.
And this is coming from somebody who's been a very harsh critic of him. But I know Brian Cashman's ego. And I know for a fact Brian Cashman reads the fan base. He does. He's one of those guys that wants to know what the fans are thinking. And people can say what they want. Well, we signed this guy, that guy. Everybody's giving love to Hal Steinbrenner finally. Steinbrenner's not hated right now.
No.
He's not hated right now by the fans. The fan base is like, he did his job. Cash, where you at, fam?
He spent that money.
And yeah, at the end of the day, Steinbrenner got to be involved in, do we add salary? Do we add this and that? And you got to remember, heck, we didn't bring this up yet. Today's the last day of arbitration. Numbers and figures got to be in today. So you're already seeing names being brought up. Juan Soto signed his deal today. His one-year deal with the Padres. So we're going to see more and more of that come out. So this is going to give you a better picture and a better understanding of what the Yankees may do. Yeah. And on top of that, you might see things heat up now with a lot of clubs of what moves they make. The Minnesota Twins, I think, are going to be pretty active. And let's just hope the Yankees are. And I'll say this. I don't think it'll shock any of us if out of nowhere there's a name drop that the Yankees land that we're like, whoa, where did that come from? Yeah. And we're like, we didn't even think about this. And it's something that Brian Cashman does often, to give him credit. And maybe he'll do it again.
Yeah. And, going back to a couple of years ago at that trade deadline, when you talk about Brian Cashman listening to the fan base, when the rumors were out there about Joey Gallo, not a lot of fans were happy about the name Joey Gallo, right? They were calling into, I religiously listened to WFAN. They were calling into the radio shows, complaining. We got Gallo, and literally 2.3 seconds later, Anthony Rizzo came. And then the fans were like, okay, I'm happy with Rizzo. I'm solid with Rizzo. Rizzo's a solid pickup. And that's what Brian Cashman needs to do. He needs to understand arbitration, like you said, last day of arbitration. Now there's a lot more players available to mess around with when it comes to the trade market, right? Spring training is literally right around the corner, so rosters are going to start finalizing. Things are going to start coming together. So now it's time to make the last decision moves. We traded last season, Ben Rohrback, JD, and everything like that. Rohrback got injured right before spring training or at spring training, and we got Jose Chirino, right? So Cashman's not afraid to make a move when he has to make a move, bro.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And look, here's the cool thing. And again, it just goes back to what we know, right? The Yankees don't have all these holes where it's like, damn. You know what I mean? Like, we got all these holes to fill. How are they going to do it in this amount of time? They don't have that. We have an understanding of what the Yankees need. And if they do that, man, I tell you what, heck, I don't think there will be a season that I've been more anticipating in my life as a Yankee fan than this year coming up.
Same.
I've been begging for years. Anybody who watched me knows, man, I've been begging for just get another dominant strikeout pitcher behind Garrett Cole, because that pays off in the postseason, right? That pays off big. We've seen it countless times. Bro, I am all for the New York Yankees this year. And this is a far cry from where I was last year at this time of year. I was
same,
sitting
bro.
there saying, bro, oh my God, they got that. I remember like it was, I don't know where you were. You know the thing where people's like, there's a big moment, where were you?
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
I'm like, all right, here, I remember where I was. I got done with a live chat, right? It was late at night. It was like 10:30, something like that. I go upstairs and tell my fiance, babe, man, I'm exhausted. I lay on the couch. My boy messed me up, say, hey, Pete, Gary Sanchez is getting traded. I'm like, hold on, wait, is it done? He goes, yeah, Gary Sanchez is going to the Twins. I said, oh, shit. I said, I got to get up. I got to go live real quick. Bro, I didn't check nothing. I get live and they say, the Yankees got Josh Donaldson. I said, what? What are we doing? What happened? You can't bring me down like that. I was so pumped and excited. And that's when I made that video when they went to get Correa. And I'm like, whoa, wait a second. How in the world did we go from being happy
to being miserable?
And then remember, we all thought that was going to be our left side of the infield. And we just gave it to the Twins.
Yeah.
I'm like, what happened here? How did this happen? And that's one of those moments, man, where I'm like, wow, I always remember where I was. I'll never forget it because I was overcome with joy. I was so happy. And then bam, that happens. So
I was different. I was indifferent because I was in my old apartment and, just finished the stream, right? Just finished the Knicks stream. The Knicks was horrible last year. And then get the news on my phone, alert from Twitter, notification from Twitter, Gary Sanchez traded. I was like, all right, cool. Opened it. Josh Donaldson is the return. Bro, I was so upset when I saw Josh Donaldson. And then literally, it was like the next day or a few hours later, the Carlos Correa news was announced. And I was like, bro, please, if there is a God someplace out there, take me out of this misery, bro, because I was so... and I say this, right? And you see how frustrated I am when it comes to the Yankees. I understand you got to make moves to make moves. But, Pete, you and I discussed this or whatever. We just want to understand the logic. What was the logic that decided, okay, we're going to absorb $30 million in 3 players, but we don't want to give $35 million a season to 1 player? That's why I'm confused, and that's the only thing I want explanation for.
Yeah, I tell you what, the day that I ever get to sit down with Brian Cashman, I need some information on that one. Look, it's done. Ain't no reason to beat you up about it no more, but because you're living with that. He lives with that trade. He knows how bad it's come out. He knows that. He's not a stupid guy. But what was the real reason behind that deal? What was the point of actually doing that? It just, and again, I remember like you said, I didn't know until I was live because I didn't check nothing. I was like, let me get set up quick. Let me make a thumbnail quick. Let me get on live. And I remember getting on the live and I'm like, Josh Donaldson. What the hell happened? What, this makes no... And we traded Gio? I was like, whoa, what happened here? And then you find that IKF and Don, like, that's the new left side of the infield. Are you kidding me? This is what we did, and we seen how it paid off, man. But look, I'm gonna actually go out. I'm actually gonna go out here and say something with this one.
Go ahead, bro.
Isaiah Kiner-Falefa got beat up by me all year, badly. Beat up by me all year, man. I said his glove was like melted Parmesan. It cracks. You know what I mean? You remember all that? I mean, I said all that stuff about him. At the end of the day, but I also did say what I'm about to say last year when he was doing bad. It's still the Yankees' fault.
Yeah.
It's still the Yankees' fault because my man looked like a natural at third base when the Yankees put him there, but they still refused to play Peraza for whatever reason. So, the Yankees are the Yankees. And shout out to the NYYST pod because they always go, are they going to be smart or Yankees? Smart or Yankees? It makes sense. Like the Yankees don't want to do the smart move. They just do like a dumb move to try to be smart, but it ends up being dumb. So hopefully they don't do that much this offseason, and we get.
I've literally echoed the same thing that you just said about when it comes to Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, right? When it comes to Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, he didn't trade for himself. Like he didn't go out there to make the trade to bring him to the Yankees, right? The Yankees did that, right? IKF is not the manager that's going out there and penciling him in at shortstop. No, Aaron Boone's the one who's doing that. So, right. So when you're IKF, you're paid to do a job and you're going to try to do it. Even if you're out your comfort zone, I want to go glove at third base, but you got me at shortstop. Hell, you want me to play right here? I'm getting paid by you guys. Let's go. But Pete, bro, another great Yank, bro. I appreciate you for coming on. Fun. Anything else you want to touch on before we dip out? Shout out to the chat. Also, if you guys can, I think we're like 19 away from 100.
Yeah, we're very
Hit those
close.
likes buttons, bro. Hit those like button for your boys as you guys come in. We got 119, 120 people in the chat. Tyler Tabard, Michael Blasco, Richie Rishuki is in the chat. If I pronounced it wrong, I apologize, Richard.
Michael Blasco coming in here with a blasphemy. I hate IKF, but he's better than Jeter? Oh, come on, Michael.
You're trolling, bro. You're trolling. And
Rich brings up a good point. He said, if Josh Donaldson hit 250 with 25 homers, will we be talking about him? No, I'd be happy. Mm-hmm. Nah, we wouldn't, but he didn't do that. So
yeah, he had his worst season in his career. When it comes to batting average, when it comes to strikeouts, when it comes to home runs, when it comes to walks, all was the worst in his career, bro. But that's the scoops for today. This has been an awesome episode of Get Yanked. Shout out to the NyynewsTV family.
Yeah.
Shout out to the boss that's right here on top of me on my screen, but he's to the right to me on your screen. Anything else before we dip out, bro?
No, the only other thing I have, guys, is, again, I am waiting on the link. It took a long time for our last event, too. So I think we finalized this last week at some point or the following week before that. So it could take a little bit of time. But once I get that link from the Yankees, guys, we are good to go. We're good to go. Book those tickets. Again, it is the Audi Club, which is 5-star dining experience. It is going to be an amazing event. You have to be there. I'm telling you guys now, it's going to be amazing. Only differences between this year's and last year's event is we do have a limit this year. They can't fit as many people. So I know 100 tickets we already got locked in with them. Last year we did over 100. They said they could probably bump us up till about 115, 120, maybe 125 around there. So I expect to have a packed out house. It could be Rodon's first start. It's going to be friggin' awesome, man. I can't wait. I can't wait.
I'm definitely going to be in the building for that one. I can't wait to meet everybody else. Still 69 is in the building. Stills, what it do, my man? TCS Stills, TC Stills. I mean, my apologies. What it do? But guys, awesome episode. Boss, take us out, baby.
I mean, and we got, what is it again? We got 2 words for you.
Listen,
how does it start? Oh, he took the mic off.
I took the mic off.
Everyone.
I took the mic off. Listen. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, you have gathered here on this Friday night for another great episode of Get Yanked. It's your guy Hector, a.k.a. host of the Morning Brew, chilling with the one and only Pots and Pans, the badass Pete Seminetti. And if you ain't down for us, we got 2 words for you.
Get yanked,
baby.
We out. Adios.
Peace. Don't want to break my mind.